All right, welcome back. Okay, it's now actually 2 minutes past 7 a.m. Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya. Today being a Tuesday, 11th day of November 2025. We still want to consume politics. That's how we do it every single day, politics. And my guest already in studio. Let me start with the lady. Crispus and Umwami, tafadhali, let's not be accused of gender biasness, right?
Correct.
So let me start with Dr. Evelyn Ogendo. Are you happy, Dr. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Salama, good to see you.
Good to see you. Been a while.
Yeah. I don't know where you disappeared to, but you'll tell us shortly. Anytime I call you, you are always on call. Very busy. Very
just
good.
Being a good Kenyan, responding to the rhythm.
Right.
Yeah.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
And next to him is Umwami. Wafula Mutachi is a political analyst and Ford Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County, joining me on set. Umwami Mboloria. Karibu sana.
Yes.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I always ask him why he's not carried some sacks of maize from Trans Nzoia. Really, Umwami?
A lot of maize from the Trans Nzoia. They are there. And you know now maize, once they are in the store,
yes,
become the property of my wife. Now I become a useless person.
Crispus to
but when it is in the farm,
I thought you were going to make a deal. Lakini hapa
I want him to add the volume.
Yeah, it becomes different.
Yeah. But that is a fact anyway. You know, he will question you so many things. Whom are you taking to?
There's a lock code.
Yeah. Even if I say I'm going to consume,
no.
She says this
substantiate.
Is a lot. How will you manage all these things? One back. But now when I tell her, yes, I'm taking to my friend Victor, maybe she will accept.
Next time,
because she knows you.
Considers. And Crispus Wathimba is a political analyst. He's an engineer by profession. Asante sana for joining us.
Thank you for
Thank you so much. So, gentlemen, Odoyewid is also joining us on set shortly. Let's start where we should. I don't know, what do you have there on the front page of the Star, Mommy? What does the Star newspaper say?
Oh, it's a good one. You remember there is a time I told you before the end of this year, I think the opposition might split. Now you can see the newspaper is now revealing that Ruto plots to split opposition, targets Wamalwa and Kalonzo. So I believe my wording here in this studio will come to pass. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? Generally, give us more details because you're the one who said it.
Yeah, I know a person like Kalonzo has stayed in coal for so long. He has been a vice president. And since that time, he has not been in the government. You know, it is very expensive when you are used to Madam here is laughing. It's too expensive when you are used to in government motorcade and security, fuel free, you know, travel, expenses is catered for, VIP treatment, all those things. And, you know, you have a say, you can employ, you can, you know, do good things, you can bring a development to your area. All those things now, Kalonzo is not doing it. Now, he feels like he should be in the government. And that's why they are fighting to remove Ruto. But now I know Ruto is very clever, the way I see, is targeting Wamalwa. Same with Wamalwa. Wamalwa has been, you know, I contested with Wamalwa parliamentary seat in Saboti, 2007. But when he rised, he didn't come back again. Yeah, he has been minister for several years. So he's used with these good privileges in the government. So staying out for almost 10 years to him will make him grow old very easily. So I think when President Ruto targets Wamalwa too, I think it's a big fish to catch. Okay,
it's a big fish to catch. Crispus doesn't have a newspaper. I'll take that on his behalf. Crispus, what do you make of that headline? The landscape is becoming softer or harder?
I think it's typical of Kenyan politics. Typical of a scenario where we abhor vacuum with the exit of Raila. There has to be a reorganization of our political space. And Ruto being the head of state right now, as being the most supreme political leader in the country at the moment, he definitely has to exercise his muscle and see what he can be able to bring forth to his court. Kalonzo Wamalwa appear to be the most attractive prize at the moment, because they bring the Kamba and the Luya Nation vote. So I believe Ruto, in his wisdom, is right to pursue the possibility of bringing Kalonzo and Wamalwa to his fourth. Given that he has lost a very big voting bloc, which is Mount Kenya, and it appears there is no possibility of getting back Mount Kenya despite making Kindiki the vice president. That vote appears to be gone. The other thing also, Luo Nyanza vote, okay, is convinced they are part of his broad-based government, but we have a history of the Luo people not showing up to vote. So that also informs his decision to seek further wide in terms of who he can be able to call to his coalition.
Okay, let's bring in Odoyewidi. He's a political analyst and a commentator, a gentleman who is not new to Jerusalem. There was a comment I saw somewhere on Facebook. I think I'll trace it. Somebody made a comment to you, inviting you for some function this weekend. Good morning.
Where is this function? I wouldn't mind joining them.
I'll give you that invite. I don't know whether you've been invited or not. As founding members. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Karibu sana.
I was actually waiting for you to look for me, but you found me.
You are here.
Yes.
Thank you for sparing some time.
Yes.
Let's just take front page of that, the Star. Omwami started it for us. And Ruto is planning to do what, Omwami? Take it up again.
Ruto plots to split opposition against Kalonzo and Wamalwa. And so many others are coming on board also.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, that headline could be written in any other way. It depended on the thinking of the writer. Yeah? He could also have written that Ruto is now hunting in Western. So if he chose to write that targeting to split opposition, I think it was his mindset. It was his relationship with President William Ruto. But what I think now, President William Ruto, like every other presidential candidate, must look for followers wherever he can find them.
Yeah.
In fact, before Wamalwa and such people are presidential candidates, they are also citizens with the votes. And of course, influencers who have followings that President William Ruto would definitely want to get re-elected. I was reading somewhere on social media today about an Ethiopian man, a blogger, was saying he really envies Kenya. Some of the headlines he sees in Kenya you cannot find in Somalia, you cannot find in Tanzania, you cannot find in Uganda, you cannot find in South Sudan. You can only find them in Kenya.
Why?
Because they will not be allowed. You will be shut down like Kibaki shut down Standard in when was that?
It was,
yes. So he says, and Kenyans are complaining. He couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand it. And actually, at one point in time, all the opposition leaders surrounding Kenya were in jail. And at that time, we were going through a due process to remove Rigathi. So I think in Kenya, we sometimes refuse to impeach. Sometimes, that time Rigathi was being impeached, all the opposition leaders around Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, Tanzania, and South Sudan were all in jail.
Yeah.
And we are still complaining. When you saw the headline that was in one of the dailies, where the three presidents, Suluhu, Ruto, and Museveni were put there, and very interesting words put down there. He said such a headline you cannot find even in that very Uganda.
Correct.
Or that Tanzania.
Yeah.
And he said that, you see, these people have discovered they no longer have any negative content about President William Ruto. So they go borrowing what has happened in Uganda and Tanzania, put them together and add President William Ruto to it. I think it was unfair and it was irresponsible journalism. That is what I think.
Okay, let me take... Doctor, you want to comment on that as well? I think it's...
I should. I think him trying to get more people on board, I think is politically correct, just like anyone. It's not only him who is who can get other people, but even other competitors are also free to do so. But if you want to win, according to me, if a giant is looking for you, it means you are among the people who make it possible for an election to be won or to be lost. Yeah. So I think it's just a normal political intrigue.
Okay.
Because how are you going to, politics is about numbers. It's not basically about, and I see our country most of the time, they really do not get down to the nitty-gritty of what is your manifesto, manifestos have been reduced to just rhetoric papers that explain things of wishful thinking. And I think it's just being a politician, just like any other.
Okay.
And we said earlier, and we've been speaking here, somehow the writing is on the wall. 2 days in politics are very many days. Yeah. Things change, and now they're bound to change.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me take you through the front page. Okay, on the Standard, what do you have there on the front page of the Standard?
I just got stuck. I really love this, which is what is on the front page today, Principles from Hell. Personally, I have relatives. I think, according to me, I should read it, eh?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Principles from Hell. Can I read the other?
You can just give an excerpt.
Oh, okay. It just talks about how principals of schools, be it in primary school or in the high schools, how they're manipulating the junior teachers. And I agree because I have relatives who have really been manipulated by the principals, in that I would like maybe TSC as an institution should look into this, and they should break down. I'm not saying that to dispute the powers, but to clearly also consider the other junior teachers, because most of them, if you are not a favorite of the principal, you suffer. And I have relatives who have suffered in the hands of principals who are, let's say, here. So TSC should look into that, in those oppressed teachers. They have an upper hand of speaking to their regional offices and saying things about their junior teachers, and they get away with it. So who's going to protect them? Because the union also tends to respond positively to the principals because of the powers vested in them. So TSC should look into this, because it's something that has really even made some teachers to commit suicide. It has depressed most of them. They are under, most of them are under pressure medications, because you are at work being oppressed, sometimes openly before the learners. It's something TSC should look at.
Okay.
I think it's just a timely heading, and I thank the Standard for that.
On the front page of the Daily Nation, thank you, Dr. Teachers split over SHA medical cover. That is just hours after top officials of teachers' union signed a deal with the government to migrate the medical insurance scheme of over 400,000 teachers to the Social Health Authority. A section of tutors have now expressed displeasure, citing a lack of public participation. Primary school heads attending the annual meeting in Mombasa termed the transition, quote-unquote, rushed and opaque, and warned of a backlash in the upcoming union elections. Now, it's about the migration from the Minute-led consortium to set to take effect on 1st of December. That is what is here. Why Trump's deputy won't be coming to Kenya? He was meant to be visiting the country later this month, but that has been put aside. And now the country is also mourning the death of Bishop Sulumeti, who passed on at the age of 88, as well as singer Betty Bayo, who also succumbed to illness yesterday. Our thoughts and prayers to the family. Okay, so let's come back. What is your take on the political landscape that you're experiencing right now, Crispus, in the country generally? I know a lot of things are now happening, but based on even what we are seeing on the Star newspaper, perhaps not even just to avoid it, but what is the general political landscape, in your own opinion, that we are in currently?
There appears to me a lot of uncertainty in terms of which direction the country ought to take in terms of the kind of political culture we are going to have.
Yes.
Given that for the last 20, 25 years, Raila Amolo Odinga has been able to kind of dictate indirectly the kind of politics discourse we have had in the nation. Most of the engagements politically has been about pro or against Raila, and now with his exit, there is a lot of desire by many Kenyans to seek another person who can be able to guide them in terms of the kind of direction they need to take politically. And therefore, this vacuum will create a lot of reorganization and organization of political parties and alliances. Unfortunately, there will be consequences in this reorganization. To what extent that consequences will affect Kenyans in terms of economic development, in terms of the character and stability of our nation, we are yet to see. But I see the likes of William Ruto, the likes of Gachagua, the like of Uhuru Kenyatta and Kalonzo and Wamalwa, and now the emergence of people like Natembeya playing a very critical role in terms of the kind of direction our politics will take. The unity of purpose that Raila stood for, I do not see that going forward, where if I lose, I might be willing to work with the one who has beaten me in the political contest, because Raila shaped the politics of the country. So he knew even if I lose, my possibility to go and work with the person who has beaten me in the contest is very possible. I don't see that kind of politics going forward. So probably the losers will remain as losers, the winners will remain as losers. Possibility of future handshakes, I don't see it coming. But I also see an emergence of new political players who can be able to shape a different kind of politics. So let us see. The next 6-7 months, things will shape up. ODM is having its celebrations. Let's see who will be invited and see how the discussions will go forward. Yes.
What is your political landscape opinion, Umwami? Because he's mentioned the likes of Natembeya. I mean, last week there was a mixture of Kalonzo Matiang'i and Kalonzo Natembeya ticket. Today there is a different headline altogether that is seeming going to disintegrate. How is it going to be?
Last time I said, politics is dynamic. Politics is dynamic, and the way my brother said, the new entrants who are trying to fit in Baba's shoes, I think like Rigiji, who find the shoe being too big for him, and also actually replacing that shoe to a different person is going to be difficult. That's why the politics of this country now is going to be different altogether. You know what? Most of the politicians we have right now are with that hard stand that I cannot support you, I'm in the opposition, I hate you, and there is no time I'll talk with you. These are some of the politicians we have. But the way he said, Baba has brought us from far. That you can defeat me in this contest, tomorrow we are shaking hands. Now that scenario in politics, maybe it's going to be difficult. And I don't see anybody fitting that shoes any sooner. Because the way I see these opposition people, the likes of Rigiji, the likes of Natembeya comes from my constituency, and I know maybe the reason why he's trying to shift from the county to national level, because in the county, people are complaining he has not done anything, and in Trans Nzoia, what people want actually most, is a region of boom harvest. Now, when people are harvesting and the roads are poor, they incur a lot of problems transporting their goods. So you find that the roads are not good, and the governor has taken very little effort to work on the roads. So, and the pressure is on the ground for him to improve the road network. So I think that's why he wants to shift politics, not to be ashamed in 2027 losing election in governorship. But from where I sit, I learn him like somebody who has a constant stand, that when he hates you, it's automatic like that. So I don't see if these are the people who will fit in the Baba shoes. It is going to be difficult because once he has hated Ruto, he can't come and, he needs to learn. I think this book of Baba has so many pages that people need to read. Pages like reconciliation, pages like forgiveness. Those pages, some of these people don't have. And they need to read from that book of Baba. So that at a point, you put the country first, whereby you forget what you've gone through, and then you focus on how to build the country.
Okay.
Now, this is the problem that we are having, and most of our leaders, few leaders can have that qualities, but now those ones who are in the opposition, I see maybe Kalonzo can try to fit in that shoes, because he has been with Baba for quite some time, and he has learned what Baba has been doing. He's forgivable, and he can reunite. And that's why this newspaper, Star newspaper, says Ruto's plot to split opposition targets Kalonzo and Wamalwa.
Okay, allow me just to come back. I'll come back to that question again. But then, the question, when you listen to what the former president said last week, when he unveiled Mwalimu Doyo, he unveiled Matiang'i as the deputy party leader of Jubilee. What is the effect to that? People thought that Jubilee was dead and buried because initially they had issues in court. And now it's slowly sprouting.
There can only be two sides to that story, or two options. Because when you see the opposition has split into two, into Jubilee and DCP, each fronting a candidate, and the owners of those political parties are from the same camp that really fought President William Ruto during the riots last year. They were working together. Either it is their strategic split, so that after the first round of the general elections, they come together and they create an impression that before the elections, our votes were split. Now they come together, we can now defeat. But the truth anyway is when former President Uhuru Kenyatta noticed that Gachagua is running away with the mountain using his party DCP, and had started trying to control the current and future politicians from the mountain, he decided to walk out and revive his old juggernaut, the Jubilee, to use to counter Gachagua. Political rivalry in a region
Jubilee has been in existence for far too long.
It's more bitter. Yeah, it was almost moribund. And I think you need to notice a few events before that. The first event was the resignation of its Secretary General, Raphael Tuju. Then forward, a new one was not appointed, but immediately there was a relaunch, and a very prominent relaunch, presenting Matiang'i as the front runner and flag bearer. Remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta has no chance of being president one more time. But he has a family he needs to take care of the way Moi took care of him. He wants to put in power a person he can leave a will that makes sure you take care of my family as we go forward. That is another aspect to that. But clearly anybody can see from anywhere that Rigathi was going too fast. And as soon as Uhuru relaunched Jubilee, Rigathi has slowed down very drastically. It also points to a fact that either he was being facilitated by Uhuru Kenyatta, or Uhuru Kenyatta was giving him the necessary support that he needed to control the mountain, which he has since thought is not necessary for a man like Rigathi Gachagua. That is what is happening in Kenya today. But again, that only makes it easier for President William Ruto to consolidate his team and beat them. Because in that division of Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua, definitely there will be disgruntlement from various leaders left and right side. There are also those ones who will not understand what is going on and who would rather be in the stable UDA.
Okay, so what now remains, Dr. Because now, if based on what he said, so there's a split and there's a raid, Matiang'i remains perhaps just a single candidate. So who is the running mate here? If Kalonzo joins and Wamalwa is also gone, so now what remains for the opposition?
Anyway, Kalonzo joining is a matter of time.
But people thought he was going to do that a long time ago.
Yeah, I say it again, even you know that.
Yeah.
2 days in a political atmosphere is such a long time, 2 days. Even 1 day, sleeping, waking up, people meeting and agreeing on one, two, three. what I understand about the official opposition, I see them looking at Dr. Matiang'i as a threat, and basically the former deputy president, it makes him very uncomfortable. You know, what I understood about Jubilee, Matiang'i being the deputy party leader and being their candidate, you know, they were saying they will decide. As principals, they will decide who's going to be the flag bearer of those principles. That is Rick G. So I'm not sure whether Rick G can go to the ballot. I'm still not sure of that. And then Kalonzo, then Wamalwa. But in there, I don't think Kalonzo has a big problem with Matiang'i, but the one, quote unquote, who poses as the prefect of the official opposition is Rick G, who comes out like, I know how this works. I know the government we want to ouster. I know it. You know, it comes from a knowing point to informing these principles in that. And you know, these principles also look at him in terms of, you have tested this thing, and I think what he's saying, it is the tool. They believe that he has these tools to make them maybe ouster the president, but I don't think they can work together and they decide on one principle. Even without the president trying to separate them, on their own, they can't work together. Because there's no way out. You'll work with me when I'm politically, intellectually, in so many ways, you're a threat. So you see, even in their meetings, Dr. Matiang'i does not come out as a, you know, he's being, you know, him himself is a brand. I've seen what he can do. But now he's suppressed in this official opposition, courtesy the former deputy president. He's suppressed in there. He just comes out like anybody else, and you see in their meetings, even if they are standing, you see even in this front page, is he there? He can't be allowed. He has to. He's not there. Is to just suppress him and make sure that his opinion is not known. I don't think whether you have ever seen Dr. speaking in any, you know, when you go to any lesson forum, and then these principles are there, you know, this is Dr. Matiang'i. It is just scientifically organized like that. Not that he has nothing to offer. It has been planned. It's not in the program.
We all
he
know
can
the,
show. He can show
we
face.
all know the power of absence.
He can show face.
Yeah.
But even the time they are holding their press and whatever, his opinion is suppressed. Is suppressed because Rick G is so threatened by him in such a way that, you see, and I don't think Rick G is comfortable with Honorable Kalonzo, but Rick G does not know who Kalonzo is very well. He is soft-spoken, you know. He has not known him in the terms of firmness. He knows any time Kalonzo is going away to the government. He is only trying to reconcile himself, and soon he'll be standing alone. That is Rick G and his DCP. Okay. And when he's going to stand alone, the people of Mount Kenya cannot want to associate themselves. You know, the Mount Kenya, they are in very familiar space, not being in government. You see, that is still a problem in the mountain. It is silently a big problem, and now they are grasping. They want to encourage, let's say they want to encourage people from Nyanza when they are giving these names. When they are giving these names, Dr. Matiang'i, when they are giving these names to encourage the people from Nyanza that they can be with them. But in the real sense, there's an underlying problem that they are not used. You see the way Kenya is unfamiliar space? Okay. You know, like right now.
Let's take a break. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I go on? You know, I'm stuck in a moment.
Tivo, okay. We take a break. We'll be right back. Come back. So for the sake of fairness, Dr. you are stuck here.
Yeah, it was just so abrupt, and then
Go
I was
ahead.
like,
Go ahead. Continue. 1 minute.
I'm
Finish your
trying to recap what I was trying to. I was talking about the former deputy president. Really, is not. I don't think Dr. Matiang'i is his favorite, because clearly Dr. Matiang'i is not in a position to be manipulated by his dominance. The way, you know, right now the former deputy president want to make it look like Mount Kenya is in his pocket, which I don't think so. And you see, he has created, you know, fake it until you make it. That is one of the phrases that makes politicians sometimes make some remarks, believe in it, swim in it, you know, like this 1 term, 2 term, those kind of things that are going on. You know, somebody conceptualizes this thing and look at it as a reality. So the Rick G looks at Mount Kenya to be right in his pocket. He can remove from here, put here, from here, and scatter or gather, but I don't think he has that power in the mountain. And what is going to happen, the official position even before even this, the heading in the Star, that Ruto is looking for Malwa and Kalonzo, it is bound to break and the DCP to stand on its own. And I don't know when it breaks, how the Daktari and being the deputy party leader of Jubilee, how is going to fall. Remember, Kenya is in a new unfamiliar space right now. Kenya is in a new unfamiliar space, having lost Raila in this matrix. We are not used to this space. And then there's a lot of confusion, even within the ODM itself. You know, this I think would say is so sudden.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that, because ODM is also celebrating 20 years, and what has that founding members have been invited. But Crispus, what about coalitions? We are headed to a platform where we are going to be having tea, friends meeting in the evening, friends shaking hands there, and coalitions are going to be formed. People are going to spread because of the political interests. What are we looking at?
And as I earlier said, our politics has been guided by how Raila conducted his politics, where if you go back to NDP, KANU, we come to LDP and NAC, we came to formation of ODM, we came to Grand Coalition Government. It's all been about coalition and alliances. Kenya is a country where voting is about blocks. It's not about manifestos, it's not about how good looking you are, it's about what connects with your people. And as we may want to dismiss Gachagua as somebody who may not have the Mount Kenya vote now, but he has a lot of influence. People listen to him. People look for him for what do you know that we don't know? Remember, he was in the government for 2 years. So there are many things that he saw there that Uhuru Kenyatta was not able to tell his people when he was president. But Gachagua has now the courage to tell you guys, whatever we were told by the former president, it is true. He warned us, don't elect this person because of this and this and this. Now that I was there as deputy, I want to confirm what Uhuru Kenyatta never told you. So that kind of narrative he's building
that automatically makes Uhuru Kenyatta the king then.
Exactly. So what it is doing is that it is not making Gachagua the king, but it's actually making Uhuru Kenyatta the king. So today, if Uhuru Kenyatta stands up and says something, or doesn't say something, the mountain is very keen to listen, even what he doesn't say. But who is pushing that is Rigathi Gachagua, because of the many things he keeps saying. You know, I did this, he did this to me, on all those. So they are working together, but not together. But at the end of the day, the Mount Kenya, a region I come from.
To whose advantage?
The one thing I'll tell you, the mountain does not decide 1 or 2 years before the election. It decides a few nights before the election. That is when they will decide. And they will not come and make huge pronouncement. A word will be sent out and it will be given the direction. So Gachagua is doing his work. It's a theater.
Okay.
And his role is very clear. You must continue speaking to the mountain. Because God has gifted you with the ability to speak what other men cannot speak. So his dismissal of Matiang'i is not to make him look inferior, is to reinforce Matiang'i. If you want to be on this table, you must demonstrate what you are bringing on this table. Go back to your people and reinforce your voting bloc. Come back with your party. That's what he was insisting. Come back with your own party. Come back with your own vehicle.
There was a contest there of having a party from the other region or have a national party, which is Jubilee.
Remember, with Kenyan politics is about blocks. Wiper is Ukambani. ODM is the Luo Nyanza coast part of Western Kenya. DCP and now Jubilee are being carved out as Mount Kenya political parties. We have all these formations coming. DAP now is a Luya party. All these formations. So if in Kisii are being told, what do you have, which vehicle? Don't go to forming a government the way Mount Kenya went to form UDA government without their own vehicle. Look at where we are. So Matiang'i is being encouraged. Go and come with your own vehicle. Whether that vehicle will be Jubilee at the end of the day, it is still going to benefit Uhuru Kenyatta and family, because even if he has 30 members of parliament in government, he has influence over...
Dr. I wanted to say something, but in 1 minute, he really avoided that aspect of coming with the political party from Kisii.
That I don't want to really confirm that, because, okay, as you said, I can agree that Jubilee, we know it as a Mount Kenya party. And now what I want to disagree a bit with him and his opinion, it's that, you know, what the former deputy president has done is to create an impression. And it truly is intimidated by the power of Dr. Matiang'i. So he doesn't trust him, and he's not going to be able to manipulate him once in case the one term comes to be true. So Matiang'i is not that person you will manipulate. And so he finds him not dependable. And trying to have a say, let's say in Mount Kenya, there's a big group of them who have independent way of looking at looking at the political atmosphere.
Let me bring in Omwami. I mean, let's just face it, because you're having different men who are going to have meetings later on, and women, of course. Then it means the coalitions which are going to be formed moving forward, in the absence of Raila Odinga, is going to be a unique one. What do you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of interest in the next formation of coalitions. A lot of interest. And that is why most of these leaders are ambitious. They can't tell the people what they think is good for them. It's about what they want to benefit from it. So these coalitions are going to be formed, but most of them are not honest. Let me cogitate clearly on this matter of coalitions. First, I know there is the last, I don't know, it was Star, which claimed that Regijiwa, he will not contest as a president because, of course, after impeachment, you cannot do that. Now he wants the 50% from the coalition he's going to support. Now, when you talk of 50% from the coalition by forming the government, what are you trying to show other Kenyans? This is something that everybody has been discussing. Where are you going to leave Coast people? Where are you going to leave Turkana people when you take 50%? And when you, of course, such a leader, when he decides to take like 50%, he'll give to his own cronies, and he'll be in business in the government. Yes, because I know there is a time when I was pushing for a certain tender in Syria board. Then by then he was still a deputy president. He came there in person, and I lost that tender. And his man got that tender. That implies that we will not have a free space of trade or doing business with the government. So this is a person whom I feel like is meticulous, is not honest at all. Now, the new formations that are coming I feel they should go back and discuss with the Kenyans the way Mwalimu Nyerere said that when you make a decision, listen careful to what Kenyans, what people, voters are saying.
Yeah.
Mwalimu Nyerere said that, and it has gone through the social media reviving what after Suluhu was being sworn in and bulldozing to that election. So Kenyans are very careful on most of these things. And right now, I applaud Kenyans on this because they don't keep quiet. They'll discuss what you want to do positively. So to me, the formation which is coming, Victor, there'll be a formation of personal interest, mostly.
Personal interest.
Yes, personal interest.
Mwalimu, what do you see when of course, coming back to ODM at 20, let me just bring it back home. We are seeing ODM taking a subtle backseat. And even the names of ODM members are not being mentioned now. I don't know whether it is strategic, deliberate or not, but what are kind of the coalition features and platforms you are going to see? What can you foresee from where you sit?
First, let me tell you something about the Rigiji claims to numbers and partnerships. The Rigiji claims are based on the fact that they looked at other communities and said the Luyas are only found in Western Kenya, the Luos are only found in Nyanza, and then took the rest to be his people who had voted. Number two, if we were to allow him to have the 50% of the votes, I can assure you that his candidate will not win, because that is not how the population in Kenya is distributed by communities. Number two, I do not understand what makes Rigiji thinks that he controls the Mount Kenya votes. Then what does Jubilee control? What does the other players in government who are from Mount Kenya control? Rigiji should look at himself pre the last general election. He could not even garner a handful of MPs to vote him as the deputy president to President William Ruto. He admits that President William Ruto chose him despite the fact that Kindiki had beaten him. He could not garner the numbers from Mount Kenya, even during his impeachment. Why does he now think that he controls the votes from Mount Kenya? Worst of all, people unite behind you for a joint cause, an acceptable purpose. So it means for him to control that vote, he must be a candidate. He cannot sit outside the pitch and want to control the players. It is not possible. So Rigiji is just conning people from Mount Kenya that I am your leader and you all follow me and we are going to form a government. It is not going to work. The person who is going to control the Mount Kenya vote is a person who is going to be on the ballot from Mount Kenya, either as a presidential candidate or as a deputy presidential candidate. That is all that is going to work. So all this will end somewhere here. Now, coming back to ODM, you know, ODM in the past, before the unfortunate demise of Raila Odinga, was synonymous with the Luo, and it was synonymous with Raila Odinga, ODM. Now, one person is out. That ODM will split is not something we need to even speculate. It is already split. Because when you hear Ruth Odinga and James Orengo talk differently from Oburu Odinga and the other people, then you know it's already split. But their vote may not split because of the past experiences of their voting blocks. They are going to vote according to what will serve them well. Today, I cannot say there is any particular person from the ODM fold who is capable of mounting a presidential campaign to become the president. It is not there. So they will have to look for where their bread is buttered most and join in and move forward. But their experiences is all for everyone to see. For example, I've heard James Orengo and Ruth Odinga talking very well of Kalonzo, that this is the man we should follow going forward because he stood with us. First of all, by saying he stood with us, I can remember Raila Odinga pleading with Kalonzo for weeks to join him. And when he joins, his demand was that he must be the running mate. That was already enough favor for joining in to make you the running mate. Number two, this is the same Kalonzo that in 2007, when Raila Odinga was desperate for somebody to give him a push to convince Kibaki and his handlers to respect democracy and accept that Raila Odinga beat him. Kalonzo bolted from Naivasha where they had the meeting that he was coming to a TV show. And what did he do? He joined Kibaki and he was appointed instantly the DP. And that, the ODM followers, I have not forgotten. But remember, as late as weeks before Raila Odinga died, Raila Odinga had written to Kalonzo Musyoka and told him, Kalonzo, join us as a founder member at the ODM at 20 in Mombasa. Instead of Kalonzo responding in writing, Kalonzo responded at a press conference and told him he will not come, but sarcastically wished him well. So that is not forgotten. And more so, as we approach the elections, as the opposition names their presidential candidates, you will see the raffle that will be in the political fields. Because you see, now people are happy to be in the opposition.
Yeah.
But they will stop being happy when they see who will be carrying the flag of the opposition. And let me tell Kenyans, Rigiji went to the ballot with President William Ruto. After realizing that President William Ruto does not have large numbers to counter the ones he had suddenly amassed, he rebelled against him. So who is Kalonzo with slightly over 1 million votes? Who is Matiang'i with slightly over 1 million votes? He will control them, and if he doesn't control them, it will go the Ruto Rigiji way. Because he will want to control them. He will want to say, remove A from here, put him there, remove so-and-so from here, put him there, give me this contract to my person. If you don't give me, we are going to the streets, we are going to say this, because he's very lucky. He's very lucky. He has the benefit of being a very good orator. Rigiji is one person who can speak even if you don't like what he's saying, you will still listen, because it is a song. It is a poem. It is poetry. So you will listen. But that poetry is very divisive. It's very partisan.
Okay.
It's very selfish.
Crispus, who's smiling silently somewhere? Of course not you. Of course not you. Who is smiling?
I think obviously Rigathi is smiling wherever he is, because those who said he will be forgotten in 2 weeks are the ones who are surprised a year later we are still discussing Rigathi. It's exactly 1 year since he was impeached.
Yeah.
And I think the one person who is smiling all the way to the bank is that person who will inherit whatever will be cultivated and put together either by Rigathi or the United Opposition or whatever formation that will be, or the ones who will benefit from the fallout of this United Opposition. So what is happening, we are galvanizing around two forces.
Yeah.
The Ruto ODM force and then the United Opposition. But a breakaway of either of those formations will benefit either. So there must be one person who says, this is my bet, I'll bet on this. And I see Uhuru Kenyatta positioning himself somewhere. I see William Ruto positioning himself somewhere. But we are also all agreeing the possibility of Rigathi being a flag bearer is impossible. But in terms of who will lead the Uhuru-driven coalition is what we yet to see. Possibility of Kalonzo is there. Other names coming from Mount Kenya, I don't see. At the moment, I think Mount Kenya has accepted the possibility of not having a presidential or deputy president candidate. For 24 years, they were out of power. They can last another 24.
Okay. I want to ask this general question. I have like around 7 minutes. Who would appeal to the Luo vote? Kalonzo Musyoka or Uhuru Kenyatta? I don't know from which angle you look at it. Wafula?
Yeah, both of them, I think. And you know, when Kalonzo went to Luo Nyanza to mourn his best friend Raila, Mama Ida actually gave out his hard response to Kalonzo that Kalonzo has stood with Baba for some years in 2 elections, supporting Baba. So he has a soft heart in Luo Nyanza. Though his tainted name of Watermelon will still affect him, that Luo Nyanza people will not trust him fully. One, when the ODM was being formed, right now they are celebrating. By that time it was ODM Kenya. When Kalonzo told Manzo, run away with the party, then Manzo disappeared with the certificate of the party, leaving Baba and the Luo Nyanza at a crossroad. Now it came up again to form ODM now, which has survived all these years. So that one also will give a tainting name to Kalonzo in Luo Nyanza. But when you think of Uhuru Kenyatta, though they were competitors with Baba, but immediately he was discussing with Raila privately until when they came to formalize as a collusion. So, and after that, Uhuru stood with Baba to the end. And you can see when he was mourning Baba, he literally stayed back in Nyanza even after burial. My friend, I think you can confirm that. He stayed and remained in Nyanza after burial. That's showing that he has lost a friend. And to me, as an investigator, I felt like it has touched the people of Luo Nyanza, that through this man loved Baba. So somebody who can go to Luo Nyanza and receive a warm reception between the two is Uhuru Kenyatta. But all in all, politics is funny. Now we are heading to 27th, by-elections. 27th by-election, which is going to be a litmus test most of the leaders in those areas we are going to have by-elections. Now, like in Luo Nyanza, now it is a checkpoint for the chairman of ODM, who is Gladys Wanka. He must deliver that from the other people. And now you can see the contest is becoming stiffer. People are moving with machetes and stones, and you can't just move and, anyhow leave that place right now. Equally the same with the Coast region, also even in Western, we can see that. But let us see after 27, and we'll see the person who has emerged and controlled the people. That one will give us the way forward. But collusions, this time around we'll have opposition, weak coalition opposition.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you say they're going to have?
We are going to have a weaker coalitions.
Coalitions can be formed anytime, and they're the boardroom affairs.
Yeah, they can be formed anytime by the strength. I really got it very clear. The strength. You can always form a coalition, but what is its strength?
Why do you say so? What will be missing in those coalitions?
There are weak points. As I told you earlier, we are in a bit unfamiliar space. And as you say, what forms the strength of any coalition? The strength is the people involved. Now, if the people involved have maybe one trust issues, one, and then the other one, they are like this political space. They have not featured very well with the majority of the Kenyans. So that is what makes you a weaker coalition.
Okay. I want us to take a quick break, and we come back. ODM is celebrating 20 years of existence, and the acting party leader, Oburu Odinga, yesterday said that founding members will attend, including President William Ruto. That is what is quite prominent. We don't know any other guest who will be attending. I want us to take a look at that. President Ruto's presence during that dinner in Mombasa, White Sands. You don't have an invite?
Me?
Yes.
I'm a member of UDA, not
You're not a founding member?
Your boss is going to be there.
my boss. I don't walk around.
So you should join. you should join.
Yeah.
I don't walk around with my boss, but we talk.
I got an invite.
You got an invite?
Yeah, and I'm a Fort Kenya
But
officials.
but what is
And I'm
ODM
not a
celebrating?
founder member. A founder member.
Commemorating 20 years of existence.
Yeah.
Just existence. Really?
There's a lot more.
You know, we form political parties to take power. We once formed we once formed the Jubilee Alliance. You remember it?
Yes, I
the
do.
one that drove Uhuru and President William Ruto to power.
Yeah,
and they did take power. Thereafter, we formed the Jubilee. Then it took power again. Then next they formed the now UDA. They took power. ODM formed 20 years ago. Never took power any day. What are they celebrating?
Let's take a break.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. All right, it's 8 sharp. Welcome back. We are on the final stretch. Now, Dr. Mwalimu Doyo, you are saying something that ODM at 20, what's going to happen there? Because from the list of guests invited, of course, one of them is President William Ruto.
Correct.
Okay. And it's a celebration that is going to be taking a few days in Mombasa, and then now founders dinners in Mombasa, White Sands in Mombasa. But then now, with the presence of President William Ruto there, as a founding member, yes. And remember what he sometimes said during the burial of Jojo Duor's burial, when Senator Sifuna pushed a bit harder.
Yes.
What did the president say?
He
if you
said
remember?
it's more ODM than Sifuna.
And if Sifuna was not careful?
He would be right in there.
Yeah, to end up pole pole.
The truth of the matter,
yeah.
And you can see, UDA is not very active. And I can almost guess that President William Ruto may not run on a UDA ticket. Yes. He can easily run on ODM. Because now as we stand, he's the senior most ODM member, if you forget about the things that have taken place after that forward. Yes. You remember the old team that went into the 1997 election 2 years after ODM was formed. President William Ruto was a co-principal there, was a member of the Pentagon. And if you remember those videos, the person who remained at KICC fighting the Kibaki handlers was President William Ruto with Ababu Namwamba standing behind him.
As a secretary.
And he fought like he was the presidential candidate. Yeah. And that is the ODM founder members cannot forget. Only these GNCs who came the other day can forget or may not even know. But those guys know that. So if President William Ruto declares today that he wants to run on an ODM ticket, in any case, nobody in ODM has declared that he wants to run for the presidency. They will welcome him. In any case, who doesn't want a party with a clear presidential candidate with very good chances of winning? Who? Those people will want, because it makes it also easy for the people contesting seats in ODM strongholds to have somebody to praise and another one to attack. That is how Kenyan politics is. You look for the boogeyman to blame for everything, attack at will, and also the messiah to keep praising at all times and praise at will, even for things he may have not done. Yeah. So that is how Kenyan politics. So if President William Ruto will declare that he's running on ODM ticket, people will be very happy. I will be happy too. So that is what is most likely to happen. But and I think it will make the next ODM celebration worth it, because now they are only celebrating existence, not achievements. They have no serious achievements to celebrate, because political parties are formed to form governments thereafter. Yeah. It is like when you do a church, that church is meant to take people to the kingdom of God. If that church is not taking people to God, it is not worth it. If a political party is not taking people to government, it is not worth it. Many political parties that were formed way after ODM took their party leaders to presidency. So ODM will be happy to have President William Ruto as their candidate, and ODM will die knowing that they have once made a president in President William Ruto in 2027 and beyond.
Crispus?
I totally agree, because PNU, it may not be there, but it formed an administration, TNA, URP, Jubilee, UDA, now NAC. We have so many parties to speak about, but the unfortunate thing is ODM has always been either in the opposition or part of a coalition in government. So it's important that with the exit of Raila, they need to find that one person they can put there who can be able to take them and secure power. And I think William Ruto makes a very good candidate. There are those voices that are now emerging within ODM saying we have an opportunity for a party leader or a party flag bearer to be able to lead that movement towards winning the presidency. The possibility of William Ruto winning the presidency through ODM is out there to be seen. We have a lot of things to be able to weigh in terms of the numbers that he needs to bring forth so that he can be able to win that. And as we have this by-election that is coming in the next 2 weeks, it will give us an indication. I think by-elections that are coming, that always come a year before the election, help us to weigh or be a test in terms of how superior political parties are. But importantly to see is that the way the united opposition has allowed itself to place candidates, one candidate against the government or Kenya Kwanza in some of these constituencies, to be able to give each member of the united opposition an opportunity to marshal their influence and power without each competing over each or crowding the space of competition.
Yes.
So that also gives indication that there is a possibility that the united opposition has a better plan as compared to other previous times where coalitions have been formed a few months to an election without having enough time to build culture, form a good relationship, get to know each other, understand each other. As we have said rightfully, Rigathi appears to be the one, commandeering people around here. But at some point, he needs to be put down and told, look, yes, you may have a lot of influence where you come from, but we have a whole country to run. The population you govern is probably 20-25% of the country. We have another 75% of the nation that has an interest to speak about. So therefore, you need to tone down in terms of your demands. So those are some of the things this longer period of courting will allow conversations of that kind to happen. And probably expectations will be better managed given the time we'll have towards the elections.
Umame, there are two things here. Politicians will play their role, but there is one person we should not forget, Wajiko is the voter. It will be interesting to see how the leaders will go out there to convince or to campaign for the ODM members and supporters to support President William Ruto's re-election on ODM ticket.
You see, Victor, before I respond on that, let me take my friend's view in a different way. That ODM stand to celebrate and stand tall to celebrate their 20 years in existence. One, ODM has been in power during Kibaki's time. ODM has been in power during Uhuru's time. ODM has been in power during Ruto's time. They stand to celebrate, my friend.
It's an achievement.
Yes, it's an achievement. There is no any political party in the world, and I will repeat it, there is no any political party in the world that has survived like ODM from the opposition immediately to the government. Even US, when you go there, Democrats and Republicans, when you are in the opposition, you are fully in the opposition. And you keep quiet until next general election. But in the ODM, immediately after election, the Babas traverse some crude ways and find himself and his people in the government. One, I want to tell you that during this time, Baba has been in the opposition. he has made a lot of development in Luo Nyanza than even in Central. Yes, than even in Central. In Central, you can just see some few roads, yes, but when you see in Luo Nyanza, several roads have been put up than even Central. And also in Coast and other places where the president has been.
Okay.
And I remember when Moi was in the power for so many years, his community were more poorer than when he left. Yes. So sometimes when somebody is in power, his people do not benefit fully. And this one I can tell you, the Mount Kenya people have been in power. Kibaki, 10 years, Uhuru, 10 years. But when you find a poor person, a poorest person, you'll find a Kikuyu. And in Kikuyu land.
Oh, no.
Yes. And I don't know how that matrix plays. Right now, President Ruto is in the presidency. But recently, you find so many people demonstrating from Rift Valley.
Okay.
That one is something that I don't know how it works. But when you see in Luo Nyanza, when Raila was there, you could not see demonstration burning roads. No.
Really?
Yes. Even the GNC did not ban roads in Luo Nyanza. They said it is an issue, that is an issue from Central Mount Kenya. You ban your roads. We are not banning ours.
Okay. I think you've not answered my question when it comes to the numbers and how it was going to be. The leaders, how they're going to now to convince the voters to change their mindset. Much as, the two gentlemen have said that fine, perhaps it's going to be happening, but then now that voter is going to be also be told that, we have to move from here to there. Baba was able to do that. People would say that Baba Mesema, that was it.
Yeah.
So this time around, how is it going to be?
Baba Mesema Katiba, I don't need to read it again. But right now, with the uprising of Gen Z, this is the first test we are going to see in next general election, because Gen Z regroup in a different way. Yeah, and they communicate in...
I would wish to answer that one.
They communicate in a different way.
Okay.
I also don't agree with that.
Okay.
So
I wish to answer that.
Okay.
The upcoming of Gen Z in the next general election,
they're not,
it will
taking their votes right now. Voter registration is happening at there.
No. You can't say that.
No
You can't say that. And sometimes you find somebody, even children in your house, they lure you to vote for somebody in your house and they don't vote.
Okay.
They'll come to your house and sing, Victor for governor, and you find yourself voting for Victor.
About Gen Zs and registration, the complaint they had...
Let's go back to the numbers, first of all, on how it's going to be.
And I would like to say something about the Gen Zs and registration to vote slightly, because I do mix with them a lot, and the expectations they had is that maybe they had a few registration centers and they didn't have money to go. The excuse is they didn't have money to go to the centers to register. So my thoughts are the government the IBC was supposed to increase this number of centers. Gen Zs, they come out as the jobless, the kids in the jobless corner. So that is something that IBC should consider the next time they're holding any registrations, because the registration centers were very few. They didn't have money to carry them to the registration centers to register, so they did not. And then about the Wanjiku, what is ailing this country is joblessness. There are those obvious things that Wanjiku expects on the ground. Affordable living standards and affordable food. The economy is so, I would say you cannot define it, because today I'm buying bread at this amount, tomorrow I'm buying this, it goes back, the fuel, everything is just so unpredictable. Any presidential candidate, if you are going to lure Wanjiku into voting for you, you have to give answers like answers in the health sector. You have to provide answers in the education sector. You have to provide answers to the joblessness. You have to come up with new ideas. How are we going to reduce the joblessness in this country? How are we going to make this life affordable? How am I going to go to hospital and be treated without drama? How are my children going to go to school? How are they going to be given their help loans without any drama? I think any presidential candidate in that manifesto and implementable. You know, there's a way you can have something that is something that is theoretical and something that is implementable and something that, yes, Kenyans see, yes, this presidential candidate is going to give us answers. To go straight, not to go around. You know, Ukabila, what, corruption. If you want to talk about corruption, what are you going to do about procurement processes? What are you going to do about the leaders using proxy accounts to do tenders that have been advertised and to disguise themselves with companies that are registered in their relatives or their cronies? What is going to... Direct injection, direct dose. If you talk about corruption, what? You cannot say corruption in this country. What are we going to do, like... to get our people getting jobs without, what niches are you going to use? What specifications, what specs are you going to give for those fresh university students who wants to come in and see an advert? Adverts are going to talk about 8 years experience. So somebody who has just left campus, where is this person going to be until 8 years of experience to get a job? Any presidential candidate who's going to bring out these things clearly. How am I going to go to the market and buy my onions? How am I going to transport them with ease? That is the person that Wanjiku is going to listen to, because I think the country is sick and tired. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's asking here. I found that message, Mwalimu. Jackson Odanga, that Mwalimu Odoyo should attend. As simple as such.
Why should I attend?
Should attend the ODM at 20. Jackson Odanga, Mwalimu Odoyo should attend.
I have no good
one
to attend that because I am not a member.
You're not a founder member.
I am.
Yes.
I am not.
But you can be invited.
I used to be a member of ODM, but they
Jackson
showed me
just
a
trying
lot
to
of
pull your
bad
leg.
manners, so I walked out. And I don't think I change my positions because people have died. I have known people who fight. The day somebody dies, they start saying how he was an angel.
I think for me it should start from invitation.
So
be invited first, then refuse to attend.
No.
So are we talking about both of them? Have you been invited or you are not invited?
Me as an ordinary member, and ordinary
I
members,
think the
they don't
problem is the
divide.
invitation.
They just inform you that we have this, so find your way there. That's what.
Very true.
You have been invited though?
Yeah, I don't know who sent the card, but I received the card.
Okay.
But I don't think they would invite me, especially when Gladys Wanga is the chair. They will definitely-
Oh, she doesn't like you.
When we had Madaraka Day, there was a list of the sons and daughters of Homa Bay, and she removed my name from that list.
So it's a personal issue with not the ODM at 20. We should be able to create boundaries.
No.
Is the issue ODM at 20? Is the issue Gladys Wanga?
By the way, I have told you that I would not go whether she invited me or not. So this is just an additional information. It's not the reason I am.
All right. So I think you've answered, Jackson. Okay. So now the question is, so what would be the body language after that meeting? Fine, the dinner is ended. You know, it's Sunday, Monday, back to work. What would be the body language, politically speaking?
No, I think what is happening now, President William Ruto is bonding with the ODM membership. Because, you know, in politics in Kenya, there has to be a coalition of political parties, but in the background, of course, it is a coalition of communities. That coalition must be bonded from time to time again and again until it holds. And that is what is going to be happening there. Now that Kalonzo Musyoka had already made it public that he will not be attending, and from where I sit, he's the major opponent of President William Ruto. I don't see any other. I don't see any other serious opponent unless the opposition merges into one thing. And even if they did, it does not give them a leeway.
And what if he appears there?
Who?
Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka?
He will be welcome because there are many people in ODM who are his sympathizers who would welcome him.
Now that's
with
my
open
question, the
arms.
body language thereafter.
Yes,
Yes.
They will be welcome. But I can tell you, there will be tension there. But politicians are also very interesting people. These people really, really know how to make you feel that they are with you. Do you remember that in 2007, when Kalonzo Musyoka was faced between Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki, he chose Mwai Kibaki. But when Mwai Kibaki died, he never even took a vote there. Recently, he derogatory told Raila Odinga will not even attend that. But when Raila Odinga died, he emerged with 100 heads of cattle. What do you think? Politicians are masters of acting, of drama, because they are now the person people are looking for most is a Luo voter. And Kalonzo Musyoka is ready to swallow any pride, to swallow anything, to withdraw any statements he have ever made against Raila Odinga before to get them. Similarly, it's Uhuru Kenyatta, the very man who refused to take Raila Odinga to the mountain.
Yeah.
But after only 2 weeks, he has already taken Matiang'i to the mountain. So politicians are like that. They make you believe what they themselves don't believe because that is what earns them your support.
Okay. So I'm still not so sure, and I have to put this clearly, not so sure. But what if we had Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, former President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the incumbent William Ruto all together in that dinner? What would be the discussion on Sunday or the front pages on local dailies, Christmas?
Most likely we'll have a similar headline to the one we are seeing right now of the Star, where Ruto targets opposition, Kalonzo Wamalwa. We'll probably have headlines suggesting a possible alliance between Uhuru, Kalonzo, Ruto, Kalonzo. Those kind of narratives will be at play. But importantly are the conversations that will happen, that will not be on print. That is what we need to be more concerned about. Because there are certain players of this political movement called ODM that have a lot of influence in terms of how the politics of the day will play. We remember ODM has already demanded for a deputy president candidate position. Okay, so yes, even if they give Ruto the president, the flag bearer, one of their own who is a member of ODM, who has been with ODM, probably Joho or Gladys Wanga, might be vouching for themselves to be the deputy president candidate. So those are some of the intrigues and conversations that will be taking place during that ceremony. And that is what we need to look out for, not the optics. The optics may mislead us, but what conversations will be happening is what we need to look out for and see where and where they'll take it from there. The next big meeting, for example, December 12th Jamhuri event, who will be invited, who will be given the space to speak, where Raila has been always occupying. That is the person we need to look out for and see how this conversation going forward. So we need to watch out the events after this celebration, the events after the by-elections, and see where this country in terms of direction is going forward, and position yourself if you are seriously seeking political power as a party or an individual.
A very salient point there.
And also, I think it will also depend with the reception of these leaders in that meeting. Because sometimes if they give you a warm reception, you can at least have a fruitful discussion. But if they give you a minor reception in that meeting, definitely you'll not end up. They'll not end up having a joint discussion to discuss the way forward of the next government. So it depends with the reception in ODM at 20. Yes.
Okay, Daktari, malizie.
You ask something?
Yes. What would the discussion thereafter, if the three gentlemen attended, and here we are? He said we should not look at the optics. Something that will be, the undertone. Chini ya maji.
I want to agree with him. It depends with the reception. Like you know, the environment will be dictated.
Yeah.
The atmosphere during that dinner will be dictated like how the warm welcome. Like, you know, you can invite me somewhere, maybe for me to get there and for you to intimidate me or to show your power over me. But if you invite me and you look like you are genuine and then you embrace me, so it means even my defense mechanisms, I'll be forced to drop it. So if they're going to be welcomed very well, and I'm sure that is where, during that dinner, we are going to get news that we don't, that could be a bit unpopular, but it's something that will vouch a new beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have to wrap it up there. The question is how it's going to be moving forward, because now we're expecting a lot of activities that is going to be taking place in Mombasa until the final program is already out, and that was given yesterday by the acting party leader, that is Oburu Odinga. The function which will be happening in Mombasa, of course, somebody said that it's just a matter of time, all right? It's just a marker in time. And so it is also a renewal of our oath to defend democracy. That's according to Dr. Buru. It's a new renewal of oath to defend democracy, protect freedoms, and continue to fight for equality and social justice. Let's wait and see how that will go. All right, Crispus Wathimba, engineer, thank you so much for joining us. He's a political analyst. He's been here with us for so many years. Asante sana. Dr. Evelyn Ogendo, she's a political analyst. She's also a doctor by profession, by the way. Good one. Dr. Thank you so much. Omwami Wafula Mutacho, asante for coming. He's the Ford Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County. Asante sana is also a political analyst. And of course, Odoyo Wedo is a political analyst and a commentator. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your valid company. Asante sana. And you as our viewer, thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Victor Lowe. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.